morning, guys. Welcome back to a new episode of Scratch. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and obviously with the current situation that we are all in the world, it's been tough for everybody. Some news, we've rebranded our channel, and I hope it's showing up because it's been changed for a while. It's now Abe Tech Tutorials, and my husband and I are trying to start our own little business and hoping that can help us spend more time with our children and be able to do kind of like a side thing and just keep it all together as we go through these hard times. And for today, our Scratch tutorial, it's a quick one for you guys to look at, but I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, let's go ahead and start it. This is basically called Shark Attack, and in this game what the shark has to do is go ahead and eat the donut to feel better. I made it eat donuts. So if it is the poison, that's when it starts looking sad, but if it is the donut, it's good. And the donut will randomly appear, and I'm still working on the little bugs here and there. The donut, it always ends up making him happy or hungry, but not touching the poison all the time doesn't always make him sad. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the code and go over it. So basically here we're gonna start showing you guys how to do scroll backgrounds. And for those of you who don't know, you cannot really put motion on backgrounds. So the way to do it, the trick is to go ahead and have them as sprites, which is what I did right here. And you guys can see here where my mouse is. I made 2 instances of it, but the easiest way to do it is to make one first. So this is what I did. I made one first, and then I did, when we click on it, then we want it to be at the edge of the, so we wanted to start here and just start scrolling. So then forever is gonna scroll, and here this number controls the speed of how fast your background scrolls. So you can go ahead and change that depending on how fast you want your background to be scrolling. And then we wanted to change back into the X position back when we're done. So whenever our X position here is at 460, then we wanted to go back to 465. And for those of you who are wondering why -60, is because our screen, let me see if I can make it bigger. Can I drag this? No, don't let me. So our screen here divides into an X and Y axis with 4 quadrants. So you're gonna go down this way and then across this way. So this will be the positive Y and positive X, and then you have negative X on this side, and then negative Y. I do have a let me see, there is a sprite, or is it a screen? I think it might be a screen. We're not gonna put it, but I just want to show you guys this guy here that shows you how the actual thing is divided. So here it is. This is a Y and X axis, and it shows you the coordinates and stuff. So this is basically what your screen is divided into. So the way we did our stuff, we want this guy, so we're gonna delete it. We want a blank background, because what we're going to animate is our actual sprite backgrounds. So what we want is to have these backgrounds, right? I don't need those. have those backgrounds and add code to it. So as I explained, you do this. Now you make a copy of the first sprite that you made of the background, and then it's a similar code. So that's why I said make the first one and then make a copy of it. So to make a copy, for those who don't know, you right click on the sprite and you do a duplicate. So that will make you a copy. So for the second one, we wanted to start right after the other one. So that's at 460. And again, the speed is the same, and we want this to be done forever, so this is why we have a forever loop. Then whenever the x-axis is a -60, when it's reached the far leftmost of our screen, of our little screen here, we wanted to go back to 465. So we just wanted to reset. So the next step is to go ahead and add your chart. And I did this by steps because it's harder to try to put everything in there and animate it, to just start doing everything by little sections. So I basically started with the backgrounds, which in this case are sprites, and then the chart. So what I started with the chart is by just basically giving it its up, like how to control it. So in my case, I'm controlling with the up and down arrows, left and right, to make it move around the screen. And what we did is these are very simple things that there's a lot of examples out there on how to do all this stuff. Like if we do this forever, we again put in a forever loop. And if forever you touch if we touch the up arrow, then we need to make sure that if it's on the edge of our screen on the top, then we make it go bounce back, because we don't want it to go off our screen and won't be able to get it back. And then we want it to just point in the up direction. I'm still working on that because I don't like some of the movement it does, but that's something I'm going to be changing. And this direction is set in degrees, so you can play around with it. This here is your wheel. You move it around and it gives you different directions. And then this is how many steps you wanted to move at a time when you're pressing the up arrow. If you want to, you can make it faster or slower. This basically makes it look like it's going fast or slow, depending on how much steps you want it to move. And then I did the down arrow, so same basic idea. Down arrow, I gave it the pointing direction. Make sure on every single one that I'm pressing on the key, I check if it's off the screen or if it's touched the screen, and we don't want it to be off the screen because we completely lose our sprite. I'll come back to this, but I did this after I got it to move up and down and left, right. So the next step I did was to put a donut in there. And I just wanted my donut to just randomly appear on the screen. So, and I wanted it to pop or disappear whenever the chart actually touched it, right? So this is what I did. So again, a forever loop. And for a lot of our things in Scratch that we want them to happen a lot, very often, and then they like continue with no end, we do them in a forever loop. That's how we use forever loops. They just keep going forever. And there is ways to exit forever loops, and I believe I covered some of that in another tutorial back in, I can't even remember what month it was. I don't even know what month I live in right now. I'll cover that later, so that in case you guys missed it, you can see that. But in this case, we wanted to go forever. The donut just randomly appear on the screen. So how we do it is we always check if the shark has touched the donut. If it's being touched by the shark, right? We want the system to place on a chomp, like it's like that. And then we hide the donut. We wait for 2 seconds, and we make it glide into wherever space we want, whatever is random space. So to make it random, this is how we do the randomness of it here. We make the system choose a random X and Y, and here the glide, you can make it higher. It'll make it glide faster into your screen, or if you make it negative, I have not tried negative, it might glide slower into your screen. So it depends what you guys want to do with it. And then again, have a show, so we make a show again. Once I had the donut going with this code, and I was able to touch it with the shark and make it pop and then come back, then what I did was add some potion. I call it poison because it looks like poison to me. Add potion sprites, and again, all the sprites you can create your own, but all the sprites that I've been using are in here. And oh, I do have to show you guys how to make the background of sprite, and it's very simple how to make the background of sprite. But let's go back for now. I'll show you guys in a little bit. But I got it from there, and then what I did to it was add some logic. So at this point, I have not added any of the logic. I had not added any of the logic to the shark, so that when it touched the donut or touched the poison, it changed its appearance. But I did do this one where the potion, I added the code for the potion. When we click, when it starts, it shows it. And then we want this item to look like it's falling from the sky, just like keep scrolling down and falling and continue scrolling and falling. And we check the position of it when it's at the negative, again, like I showed you guys that X and Y. When it's at the negative Y position, we want it to go back to the positive Y position, but appear randomly somewhere, and just continue falling and falling and falling. So then here I checked if the shark is, if it's being touched by the shark, then do the jump noise again, then hide and wait for 2 seconds. So it's the similar idea that I did to the donut here, and that's all I did to that. And then to add the second potion here, all I did was duplicate this one, and this actual sprite comes with multiple. It has like multiple sprites in it. So what I did is deleted the other sprites in it. So let me show you guys. Potion. There. So this guy, I'm gonna delete him later, but he comes with different customs. And all I did was delete the ones I didn't want. I obviously did not use the blue because my background is blue, and I don't think I was gonna be able to see that one, or you guys wouldn't be able to see it very well. So I just deleted it. And to delete it, there's this little icon here. You just delete the little, and you click on the one you want to delete and just delete it. And you can also edit these guys. The shark originally was blue, I believe, and I made him gray so that we can see him on the screen. But you can change all these colors, like everyone. So you can make it purple, and then just click in there, and it'll show you what is gonna change to what color. So you can make sprites with the sprites you currently have and just edit them to whatever you guys want. But for now, we're gonna get rid of it because we're not using this. I might add more later or change things around, and I'll let you guys know what I did. So once I had all that going, my last step was to go back to the shark and add the different phases of whether it was touching the donut or was it touching poison number 1 or poison number 2. So if it's touching the donut, I want him to be happy. I want him to be a happy shark. So if he eats the donut, he's in a good mood. If he eats the potion in this case, and you have to put both here because it doesn't if you put this, since they're different sprites, you have to check for both. I want him to feel sick like he looks right here. And that was basically it. Oh yes, let me show you guys how to make that sprite a background, an actual sprite. So let's just choose any random sprite, because we just want to change the sprite. So you go in here and choose a background, and make sure that you choose something that it's gonna look, especially for the scrolling, right? You want it to automatically scroll. You want something that makes it look like it's actually scrolling. Like for example, this one here, this background here, this would be amazing. This one would be amazing for scrolling because it has the ability to be made into a scrollable background. All you do is convert it to a vector. Oops, I changed his background. That is okay. Convert to vector back down here, and all you do is select them. Oh, I keep changing the color. Select it, and then you do a copy. Go to the sprite area and just delete whatever sprite you had chosen that you don't care for and you don't want. And yeah, I like to minimize it so I can kind of see where it's gonna fall into, and just pop your background in there, and that makes that background a sprite. And for some of them, if they don't cover like the whole little screen here, you can pull them out, and that's how you make your backgrounds become sprites. So let's see, let's go over this I guess again. So basically here is I taught you guys how to do a scrolling background, which in reality is a sprite, because we cannot put actual backdrops as scrollable, so you need to make them as sprites. And then I taught you guys how to move the chart up and down, left and right with your arrows. You can always choose any other key if you guys don't want to use the up and down arrows. And then I also taught you guys how to add a item in there for your sprite, that it would be animated so that it would eat it, and then it would, when it eats it, it randomly appears anywhere on the screen, and this randomness is chosen by your actual computer system, or just the system itself. And then the poison ones too, we taught you guys how to do that. And so the next step I want to do is make it a little more stable when it touches the poisons, because I did notice that doesn't work at all times. So that will be my next step. And then finally, the final thing that I would like to show you guys is how to connect it to a Makey, which should be very simple, and have it, you would be using your Makey as a controller. Instead of using your keyboard, you'll be using your Makey as a controller, so that you guys can go ahead and show your family members, and kind of make it like a family game. And you can change any of this stuff to any background, any sprite you want. I've seen people make like racing car games out there. There's a lot of things you can do with it. You just decide what you want to change and how you want to change it, and then you just create your own little thing. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions, and thank you very much for supporting us, and stay healthy, stay safe out there. It's a rough one, but I mean, eventually we'll see the light out of the tunnel, however that goes. We'll eventually see the light, and we'll see you guys soon.